guys, this is Cassia, and I just wanted to give you a quick tour of D2L since we're going to be doing this class virtually for the indefinite future. So, when you first log in, you'll see a home screen that looks something like this with a long announcement from me to get you started. And to find the weekly modules, you need to go over here to Content, and it will bring you to a couple introductory areas such as Introduction to Online Learning in case you haven't taken an online course before, and the Course Information module. This module is one that I created for you, so this is kind of where the aviation content starts. And a good first step in getting yourself oriented is going to be to explore these things. You can see a check mark appears anytime a subject has been clicked and looked at. So I've looked at these. If there is something left to do in a subject, such as a checklist that hasn't had all the boxes checked, or a discussion board that you have not yet posted in, then you won't get a check mark. And a good rule of thumb is you want your status bar up here to show 100% at the end of every module, and you want check marks to have appeared everywhere. Let me point out a couple things that I want you guys to notice here. One is that this Introduce Yourself discussion board, it is due April 5th, and you are allocated points for participating in it, so please don't overlook that. This discussion topic, the Hangar Talk, is not graded and participation is purely optional. One of the best things about the private pilot ground courses when I teach them in person is how each cohort of students just forms these bonds, and you really leave the course with friends that tend to last your entire aviation career. Private pilot ground is a pretty transformative experience for a lot of people. It's a lot of work, but it's also the start of something that for many is a lifelong dream, right? Or a passion. And so everyone in this class is a motivated individual, an interesting individual, and I really want you guys to have that chance to still get to know each other. So feel free to talk to each other on this discussion board in an appropriate way. You can see netiquette guidelines for that, as well as ask questions of each other or me if you get stumped on any of the ASA test prep or homework throughout the term. This is a perfect place to upload pictures of specific questions that you want help with. Throughout the term, then I will be assigning different small exercises as homework or quote-unquote in-class activities. Maybe sketching a system diagram, listing some airplane speeds from memory, just quick little things like that to make sure that you guys are engaged. And these are going to go toward your participation points for the term. So anytime there's a small exercise like that, if I ask you to turn it in, then this is where you can turn that in under this general participation assignment. And you'll always be able to find it here in this first module. Another thing that you can find in this course information module is this sub area, the general library. This is where I'm going to put aircraft POHs. Those are like the owner manual for your airplane. And you will be navigating and making use of those throughout the term. So if for some reason you don't have one of your own, then you can come download the PDF for free here. It's not as good as having a physical version that you can highlight and tab and carry around with you in your flight bag, but since we're not doing actual flight instruction at this time through PCC anyway. And I also hear that it's a little bit hard to get Amazon to reliably deliver things that aren't essential at the moment. This is a good option in the interim. Let me just take you guys through one of the regular weekly modules now, because they look a little bit different. Over here, you can see the first module of course content. The first learning module is module 1A, and it technically begins today. But the course itself does not begin until March 30th. So if you're viewing this video on March 30th, then don't worry. You're not behind. I just opened it early to give you guys a little bit of time to orient yourselves. So within these academic modules, then there's going to be a quick little introductory paragraph. I always give you guys checklists because typically you have things that you need to be doing both within the online environment and also just with your pen and paper and books at home. And so I want to make sure that it's easy for you to keep track of all those moving pieces. So these checklists are going to be a way for you to do that. And you can just check off the reading or whatever small assignments there are each week, and then you'll know that you are staying with it. Another thing that you're going to find in these modules, sometimes I have helpful videos. This is a really great short YouTube video that will give you guidance on the best way to read large sums of text in case maybe this is new for you. The beginning of this course is very, very heavy on the reading assignments, but I promise you that it does peter out as you keep going. So stick with it and know that you don't need to read every single word. There are things you can skim. I just want you to be able to get a general understanding, and then my job is to point you to the important bits and focus in, okay? I also always upload your weekly reading for you so that then that's just one less thing you need to worry about. If I want you to read something, it will be right there, okay? Now, for those of you who want to go above and beyond, or maybe if you're struggling and you want some new, different ways of looking at things, I also have these sub-modules here, these helpful extra modules. And within them, there are articles, videos, sometimes games, sometimes links to external websites that are not mandatory. They're just helpful, okay? Whether or not you do them will not impact your grade. I also typically have PDF versions of the PowerPoints that we go through. I guess this is a little bit redundant since now you will have the Zoom recordings to look at, but they're there. And then every once in a while there will be graded discussions or assignments that are the points from which your grade are made up. So within that first week, there's another graded discussion, the new discussion that I want you guys to participate in. So you've got 2 discussions that you need to post in by April 5th. The tell us who you are and the tell us what you know and what you've learned discussions, okay? I have faith. I think you guys have this. So that's all for now. If you are starting to look at this before March 30th, before our first Zoom meeting, then that's amazing. And I fully encourage you to start working ahead. There's a lot of material in that first week, and getting ahead now is only going to help you. So I hope that that is a helpful introduction to how things are going to be laid out on D2L. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. I cannot wait to meet you guys in Zoom.